What's going on, everybody? So in this video, we are going to be covering the hottest upcoming mints you definitely do not want to miss, as well as the hottest project in the NFT space right now. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, if you're excited for this video, don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and let's get going. Now, first thing we're going to cover is what's going on in the crypto market. So once again, everything is kind of trading sideways. Ethereum over the past 7 days has been at that 1.6 level, and nothing too much has changed, right? A lot of people were saying, including myself, that maybe this is possibly a bull trap, but right now I don't really see a reason for why everything should be pumping. But just remember, if you're going to buy cryptocurrencies, especially when it comes to the larger ones like Bitcoin and Ethereum, you always want to DCA in, dollar cost average, because the prices can fluctuate just based on something that's happening in the news, right? Just real quick, when we're looking at the crypto fear greed index right now, everyone seems to be very greedy. And of course, this is not like 100% accurate or anything. It's just based on the news. It's algorithm that puts these things together. But can it go up from there? Maybe. The market maybe can be controlled by many people, right? But at the same time, maybe it may go down. So just be mindful, do your own research. But anyways, going to the projects, first one we're gonna talk about is gonna be Checks. Now, Checks has been the hottest project right now in terms of how much volume it's getting, the excitement people have on Twitter, especially. A lot of influencers are talking about this. And so what's going on here, right? Checks is started by this guy, Jack Butcher, who's kind of like an artist. So basically, this guy came out with this other project called Visualize Value, which is kind of like an art project, right? So there's many smaller collections under this. So you kind of look at it. For me, we're looking at this, obviously he learned a lot from doing these smaller, low risk experiments. And then the thing that really popped off and probably put all his creative juice into it was Checks. Now, when we're looking at Checks, the website, it's not the most intuitive to understand in the beginning, right? Because you might be wondering, why does all these NFTs look like the Mona Lisa and this Pepe, right? So originally before, it was like these colorful check dots, and then he just kind of changed the metadata to make like a point about art, how it's infinite, and we don't have to go into the whole philosophy of it, but it's a nice narrative that people can definitely gravitate to and get people to buy. So the idea is that you start with 80, right? And if you have two of them, you can burn these two NFTs that have 80 checks each to get an NFT that has 40 checks. If you have two 40 checks, you can burn those two, you can get one that has 20 checks. So it just keeps burning and burning and burning until eventually, when you have like two 1 checks, you could probably go for that black check, which is the 0 check, right? So right now, if you look at the supply overview, you see the 80E right here, meaning that no supply has been burned, meaning the process has not started. So the games have not really begun. And why is it Mona Lisa and everything like that? And the Pepe, he's kind of like saying it doesn't really matter. It's just like tokens, and you're going to burn them anyway. So maybe the game begins after you burn these things. Look at it like almost like a fungible token in a sense, right? They're all kind of the same. It seems like Checks is probably more successful than most people would have imagined, based on how Jack kind of wrote a thread over here, and he kind of publicly said that, where it's just some things just pop off, some things don't, right? This particular thing popped off, and in the contemporary art world, right, not just NFTs but in general, there would be people who support an artist. They're like, hey, this is a really good narrative, this guy's a good artist, he's a great person, this guy can be a star. So it's possible that a lot of people may have purchased a lot of these checks at lower prices with the anticipation that over time this particular collection will become more valuable. And could they do things to influence the perception of the art to increase its value into the retail market? Absolutely, they definitely could. So it's nothing really new. And I think because the narrative is interesting, there's the burn mechanic. There are going to be different DAOs that are created to buy all these checks because they're going for the 0 check with the black one, right? It's a really strong narrative to get people to buy. So what's even more interesting is that Checks, like for example, someone sent me in the Parallax Discord where we talk about NFTs, Checks 2, right? So basically this is token ID with number 2, sold for 52 ETH. So why would someone buy this for 52 ETH? Well, it's only because it's number 2. Does it really do anything for you? Not really, but it's cool. So it is what it is. You have to be very careful about this, because maybe some people are buying it for the art. Some people are saying this is going to be the next Damien Hirst of NFTs, right? Maybe it will be, maybe it won't, right? But then you for sure, because the NFT market and crypto market in general, a lot of people do like to flip. They like to make profits. So you definitely want to keep that in mind and understand the dynamic of the ratio of how many people are here to collect the art and hold and hope that this becomes something in the long-term future, and how many people are actually going to sell the moment the floor price hits their selling price, right? So all things you hopefully need to understand in order to play this right. It would be a mistake to believe that nobody's going to sell. People are definitely going to sell. Some people are going to hold. If you collect, think about your capital, your exit and entry, because all those things matter in the NFT space. All right, next project we're going to talk about is going to be an upcoming one called Mntge. I guess it's a play on the word vintage, and it's going to be founded by Sean Wotherspoon, Nikki Ads, and Brennan Russo, right? So the one I'm more familiar with is Sean Wotherspoon, because he's kind of like a celebrity within the streetwear vintage world. He's really known for this vintage store called Round too, and they do a really great job in marketing. He goes to like flea markets and you basically find all this vintage stuff because like it's coming back in style, right? Or it is back in style. So you'll buy it for cheap and then put it in the store, sell it at a premium, and that's how they make their money, right? But he's really good at curating. And so instead of you having to go to the flea market yourself and finding all these clothes, he's finding the best stuff, putting it into a store, and people will just buy it, right? The team really does a great job with the marketing on YouTube, because I even watch those videos where they're just going out to like Japan and buying vintage stuff and then reselling it, and it's quite interesting actually. So they have these passes here that has already minted. I think it was like a 0.2 mint, floor is like 0.39, which is not bad. And this pass is kind of like their Genesis pass for 1.5k members who are really into vintage product, right? So I think you have to really be mindful of that, where it's for people that actually want the product, not necessarily for people who want to play the flipping game, because not everybody wants vintage clothes. It's a large niche, but it is a niche. So with the pass, you're going to be able to get access, right? Priority access. They're not saying free things. They're saying priority access to our designer collections and drops, and to the future of vintage market, right? Which might be like a place where you can buy and sell vintage stuff. Not sure yet, but it sounds interesting because they already make so much money on the Web 2 side. I feel like they're just bringing it into Web 3, where the past vintage market will be a feature iconic physical vintage curated by Sean. So I guess they're going to make 3D clothes you can wear in the metaverse, as well as getting the real one in real life. Okay, so I suppose they might make their own collections. Most likely they probably will, and they're going to be selling vintage clothes as well. So definitely taking the Web 2, making it Web 3. So it's pretty cool. And then when we're looking at who the people are, they have a lot of advisors. John Wexler, who's the general manager at Adidas. So they got like a lot of pretty top tier people in their advising team. It's a pretty interesting project if you like streetwear, if you like this kind of stuff. I just want to put it on your radar because I'm a fan. And now moving forward, the next project we're going to talk about is going to be Mocaverse. So Animoca is one of the largest VCs in the crypto and now moving into NFT space. And it's going to be an 8888 collection built for people who are entrepreneurs, builders, angel investors, connectors, capitalists, VCs, whatever it is. So pretty much everyone in the ecosystem, right? So they're definitely one of the largest crypto players in the space when it comes to investing and building projects. And I feel like they're just kind of putting their community together. Maybe you want to be a founder or a builder, and then if you have the pass, it will give you special benefits to being part of the ecosystem, right? So I definitely see that play. And what they did was that because Animoca owns so many projects or invested in so many projects, you basically get a free airdrop ticket. How it works is like there's going to be, I think, around 113,000 supply for the tickets. There's going to be a raffle, and then 8888 of them, which is like less than 10% of the people that have tickets, are going to win the opportunity to get a Mocha list, which is the white list to get this thing, right? So my personal take is that because it's Animoca, this might be pretty hyped. You know, I think a lot of people are kind of talking about it. Maybe there's going to be a lot of secondary volume because Animoca is a high profile brand that many people want to work with and have investment from. So I can understand why people would want to buy this. Now, it could go up, it can go down, not financial advice. Now, if you want to take your NFT game to the next level, you want to make sure you check out the Parallax Genesis, because we are creating some amazing Parallax Academy sessions where we're going to be going deep into the whole NFT market and going into a lot of things that I actually don't say on YouTube, and breaking things down for our holders, right? So that's something you are interested in and you want to get the inside scoop on what's going on in the NFT space. You definitely want to check out the Parallax Genesis. You can take a look on it on Blur, Opensea, whatever it is. Link to our Opensea is also in the description. So with that said, that's everything for this video, and I will see you in the next one.